Good to have you again on the program. It's of course the Economy Today on KAFTAN TV. It's a pleasure having you really every time we get to be here. And the aim, as always, is to ensure that we treat matters that will help us get better. I mean, our economy get better. And that's what will also happen today. We'll try to check some excesses this day and see what could be done to put things in order so as to ensure that the economy is made better. Okechukwu Onubogu here, and of course I wish that and pray that the best will be what you share with me on the program. It's good to have you there. I've got a guest, but as you always know, we will not talk about our guest now. I will bring my guest after the first phase of this program that's just about to kick off right now. And of course, in that first phase, we have the stock exchange thing and then the oil price, and then afterwards we'll give you what we call our news beat. Incidentally, we just got one bit for you today, and after that we'll return on that cause, the importance of the discussion today. So we'll take less time out so as to exhaust all that we have, because our guest is a very special one indeed. Let's get to these others first before we return to talk about our guests. Oh yes, and that's looking at the stock exchange. And the oil share index, we have 0.72% increase. Sorry, 0.22% increase. And all we have is 97, major is 97. Then talking about the value traded in Naira here, we have 686 million Naira, of course, and the volume happens to be 98 million. 86 million rather Naira. We have our market cap coming up to be 56 trillion. That's serious, talking about this money. And then we'll move further. We'll move further just to share that among the people that got involved today, we have well, yesterday really, that is ending today. We have the Sterling Bank, and then Sterling Bank got money into it and got 30.2 million, while Zenith Bank brought in 7.2 million. Japan Gold brought in 3.9 million. Remember that Japan, just at the beginning of last month, brought in some huge billions of Naira into the stock exchange. And so we expect to be seeing them more often, even as we've seen them today. Yes, let's go on. And we will look at the people who are the top gainers, and we have Julius Biaga there having 9.33% gain, and we have also Wrinkle Insurance with their 8.09% gain. NSL Tech will also have 6.91% gain, and WAPIC has 6.25% gain. These are the top gainers out of the 25 gainers on the whole. These are the top ones, so that's why we just brought this for you to see, the first four. Okay, we'll look further to find out who those ones are who are the decliners. Among the many decliners, we have DACOM, that is DAC Communications Limited. DAC Communication losing 9.59. Then Ella Lakes losing 3.69, and Universal Insurance losing 2.88. AfriProd has lost 2.00%. These are the percentage losses. That's why they are declining anyway. Percentage decline in the stock exchange, in the stock market, as it happened from yesterday. And later, of course, you'll hear that of today. And this is what we have right now. Now, yes, in the oil market, we'll also look at something special to find out that in the oil market, we have the WTI crude. We have WTI crude, that is West Texas Intermediate, having $74.04 with a a gain of 0.64%, while we have Brent crude at $77.68, and that will be a 0.65% increase. Melbourne crude has 77.67, that's $77.67, and that is at 0.44% increase. Our Bonny Light, which has been this way in the past 2 months, is at $78.62, that's $78.62. That's a decline, because it was at 80 before it now came down to 78, and it's been there in the past 2 months, and about 2 months and a week, and so we have a decline of 2.84% at it. We hope that Bonny Light will also increase again, like the others. Well, that's it for now, talking about the stock market and all that's involved in all these. But we will still continue, because we have a lot, as I told you. We have a news bit, and we just have one beautiful story to tell. Others I can talk about as we go on the program, because I have someone that can share effectively with me in all of it. That's one thing that has made me happy today. A special guest. But before we go there, let's invite Divine Okechukwu to give us that news bit for that. And that was the news bit this day. And I want to say special thanks to Divine Okechukwu for that beautiful package. And say that the things we have today are of great importance for us to share, and share on a very serious note. And that's why we are letting it be that we just have one news bit for us today. Now, let's talk about our guest. I have a guest today, and his guest is a financial economist. He's also the president of Rock Global Investment Network London, and with branches all over the world. And he's a consultant, he's an academic, and I remember that he's known as the economist, the street economist. We'll talk about that as we go on. And I will say that he recently ran for the gubernatorial election in Kogi State under the YPP, you know, and today he's here for us, and we are glad to say that here in the country we have been able to reach him to be part of what we have today on the program in the economy today. He is Dr. Sam Omale. Dr. Sam, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's a big pleasure having you real life here now.
My pleasure.
You know, we've had you while you were there, and we've done it the way we did. But this time you're here,
life,
flesh and blood. Yes.
Thank you.
So good to
My
have
pleasure
you.
being here.
Yes, sir. Now, we have a topic today, and this topic happens to be what we call economic waste. We're talking about economic waste, and the point why we are bringing this one is we're looking for economic excesses. Rather, what we're doing is how to curb all forms of wastage in our economy, the economic excesses, and discussing curbing all forms of wastage, if you like. So, but before we go into all that, I want to say you came into Nigerian politics and you got involved the way you did, and while contesting for that YPP, you saw Nigeria the way it is, because you may not see Nigeria completely until you get deep into these things. And you also must have seen real economic excesses too in that one. Can we begin with that, sir?
Okay, thank you again for having me. Yes, indeed, I came into politics some 3-4 years ago, and last year, of course, I ran for the governorship position in Kogi State under YPP. And the reason I came in was because all this while I've been criticizing about the happenings in Nigeria. I've been seeing the errors, I've been seeing again the wastage that have taken place. So I said, instead of sitting down on the couch and complaining, why don't you put your head in the jungle and tell people how it can be done? So I came in really to show that I have the capacity and the ability and connection that will be able to rescue Kogi State from its economic comatose state in which it was. I wanted to make Kogi State an example of how things can be done, and the rest of the country will learn from there. Of course, it didn't work out the way we came out with, but all hopes are not lost. Yeah.
Okay, we believe that all hope is not lost. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I said there are economic excesses. Looking at the political side of the story, because economy is involved in every side of our story in Nigeria. Tell us what you noticed.
First of all, because of course you introduced me as an academic, I'm a teacher, so I like to define things so that we can put them in perspectives.
Yes.
When we say economy, we're talking about a geographical entity like Nigeria. Then economics is the activities that go on, the production, the services, the trade and the investment, export, import, the activities that are happening within that geographical entity that leads to either growth or non-growth.
Yes.
No, then that's how the definite. That's how we see economy or what economics is involved in. Now, in Nigeria, I'm tired of using that word. We're endowed. We have the potential. I mean, there's a limit of time that you can use that kind of phrase. It's overdone. It's become a cliche to say we're endowed with all kinds of things. We have the potential. We're on the same level, even higher level than China, South Korea, Dubai. They were under us in the 1949, 1950, 60. We were ahead of them.
Yes, Malaysia.
Malaysia, of course, Malaysia was not even mentioned when Nigeria was up there. So, but how is it that we are now running to China, running to Japan, running to these places for rescue? It's because something has not been done rightly. So we have this, what Achebe, I don't know whether you read Achebe, one of his novels says, it's like, Nigeria is like a man who is living by the riverside, on the side of the river, and is washing his face with his spittle.
His spittle, yes, I read it.
This country, this country is the most endowed around the world, and I've been to every continent in the world you can imagine. So why is it that it's still in a very poor, third world, backward state? It comes from three things. It's a product of, one, lack of visionary leadership. We had it at the beginning in the early 66 to even 70. We had a vision. We have visionary leaders who had a picture of where they wanted to take Nigeria to. That vision got blunted, got lost, and from the eras of the military to military till now, we have been moving without a clue of where we are going. There are no ideological differences in this country. All political parties are the same. They have no ideology.
Yes.
There's no, you can't distinguish one from the other. And of course, you see the membership cross-carpeting going up and down. So the leadership is non-existent. Now, once there's no leadership, then you cannot direct the affairs of a nation, affairs of a home, affairs of an institution at all. So that leadership problem has to be fixed. And it's difficult to fix it now because the institution that normally would have brought in about a visionary leadership or visionary leader are themselves incapacitated. It comes through a credible election. There are no elections in this country. There are appointments or there are selections. Selections happen. They announce bogus result from somewhere. They go to court. The court is compromised. The judiciary is compromised. So we are in this quagmire that is going to take a miracle to get us out. And as long as we are in that state, Nigeria is going nowhere. The waste will continue to abound. That's one level of a reason why we're in this state. Number two is, once you say there's a waste, it means you lack the inability to manage the resources you have. So if there's no management, if you don't understand or know how to manage the resources you have, there will be waste. And that's the reason why that it's occurring. We have no ability to manage the resources we have. So you have a gold mine, you have resources around you, but because number one, you don't even know where they are, you don't know their values, you don't know how to extract them. People are still extracting humanity with their hands and cutlass and hoes in this country. Everything is still in the crude state. That's a waste.
I want to say something.
Okay.
Let me just cut in a while and say the inability to manage the waste,
the resources
rather, in this country. I think, I'm yet to be corrected anyway, that that inability is as a result of the fact that it's not as a result of the fact that we do not have the personnel, but it's a result of the fact that the people who are at the helm of affairs do not want to bring in the right people, place the right folks in the right holes so as to get the correct answer. What do you think?
You're right, and that, of course, is a direct product of lack of visionary leadership. Because a visionary leader will say, this is the picture, this is where I want to go. What next does he do? He get people from all over the place and say, okay, come and help me to lead me to where I want to go. That's what a visionary leader. Okay, John Kennedy just said, we want to put someone, the first person in the country to put a man on the moon. That's the vision. He was not an astronaut, he's not an anything, but that vision gets people to run. You have to have a leader that can tell us. Dubai had visionary leadership. There's that place. They said in these years, they're already thinking in the future. They say they are looking at the future already. They're past this stage now. So that leadership, visionary leadership that is not there, is they are able to attract or bring in people. So they bring people that will say yes, yes, yes. Now, when you bring people that are saying yes to you, who know that you are the one paying their bills, they are unable to challenge you. In Nigeria, the greatest problem we have, for me, is leaders don't accept criticisms. In fact, they don't accept suggestions. They don't accept questions. They don't answer questions. So when you ask a question, they think you are confronting them. And that's the problem. Ask questions, answer them. So until we're able to get a leader to ask questions and answer them and bring the right people, don't mind where they come from, the glory still comes to you. Yes. It is your government that has performed.
Yes. I would ask for a break for a while, and we'll return and continue with that bit of the story.
Okay.
All right.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1.
Back, and we still have our guest, Dr. Sam Omale, who is an economist of a special kind, the one that I keep saying because he's here to talk about that, because I know that's what he is. He is referred to as the street economist. We have the point that he's handling. After that, he will tell us again on this program, because it's been a long time we discussed that first one. We'll share that one too. Doc, please continue.
Yeah, so I was saying, I was giving defining reasons why there seem to be economic growth, and I would say number one is leadership failure. Number two is inability or the capacity to manage well. Now, resources become wasted when you don't know how to turn them into useful materials, to turn raw materials into finished products, to turn opportunities into the socio-economic benefit of the people. Now, if you don't have the managerial capacity to do so, resources, human, material, mineral, whatever, will be lying in waste. That is so because it comes away from the lack of visionary leadership in the first place. So once there's no leadership, they are not able to attract the best talents to carry out that assignment. So politicians that come bring their cronies who have no clue of what economy is about. They have no clue of what anything is. They just put them in positions, and whatever they meet there, that's what they scavenge until everything is now round down in this country. The third pillar or reason why there's downward spiral of Nigerian economy, of course, is what we call the enabling environment. The enabling environment is not something that comes from somewhere. Is the to make the environment, like I define an economy as a geographical entity.
Yes.
Now, that a geographical entity is an environment. It must be enabled, empowered to attract agents of production, of manufacturing, investors that will come. And what are these? These are institutions. Let's take one, rule of law. If I bring my investment in Nigeria and I have a dispute, will I get fair justice? From what I'm seeing now, from the kind of somersaulting judgment that's coming from the judiciary, will I trust this judiciary, right? Trust the law
to give you
to protect, to give me fair and protect my investment? The answer may be no. So no matter how you cry out, no matter how you go on your road shows, investors are not coming. Rather, over the past few years, they have been leaving
the country.
Don't look, all kinds of things have been leaving. Even indigenous factories have been going, because the environment is hostile. Just now I read in your papers that FDI has gone down.
Yes.
It will go down as long as there is hostile environment to attract investors. So these are the things that we work on. The problem of Nigeria is already known. We know it.
Yes.
How do we fix them is what we should be talking about. So there's a willingness to change our ways, then this country will be the better for it, and we can grow faster at a faster speed. There's no reason why we should wait another 10 years to get to where China is, because everything is already there. It's coupled, purchased and coupled, and we move on. So we can still run fast to catch up with the modern technology if there's a willingness to do it. Get the best hands. They don't have to speak your language. They don't have to be in your religion. They don't have to be just do the work.
Yes, just do the work.
Do the work.
After all, they say that in China, they are not even talking about any religion.
No.
But they are doing
do the work. Do the work.
Working and achieving.
Let us be performance indicators, key performance indicators. If I give you this position, now I can challenge you now. If you go to some of these institutions in Nigeria, go to any ministry and pull out the permanent secretary or whatever that said, what does this ministry do? What are your goals? What are your missions? What are the visions? What's the business model? See, these are supposed to be defined, that before you take a position, you know what the business model of that institution is. People just wear clothes and go sit down and have no clue that each ministry in Nigeria, each one of them is capable of generating income, generating businesses, generating investors, bringing investors that can sustain the entire economy. Each one of them.
Yes, and the foreign direct investment, just as you said, you read as you read this morning, must go down because of the fact that all these indices are not helping any matters at all. When you are seeing the ones that were even there leaving, how would you want to stay coming and make foreign investment? Let me say this, because I've tried to make this point for a long time, and but this is a good opportunity.
Yes. When Nigeria is actually talking of foreign direct investments, you know what they're looking at? They're looking at the capital market.
It's only yes.
And the capital market is trading. No, capital market is not investment. It's trading.
Yes, it's trading. It's pure.
So these guys know the cycle of our capital market. They know the cycle that in January everything is dry. They bring in money here. By around this time, they dump and go.
And come back.
That's what they are doing. So direct investment is when a manufacturing company, a Caterpillar, whatever, they come in and establish shop.
Manufacturing company.
Exactly.
As Dangote was talking about getting what do you call it, the fertilizer.
So you get the businesses to come and put shop here. So when they carry themselves to China, these African leaders pack themselves in buses, which is a shame. They carry themselves every year to China and they sit around this big man. What are they talking about? Are they telling them come and do business? Say no, but you see foreigners in our bushes, in everywhere, extracting things illegally.
Yes,
I mean that is the pain.
Especially
that's the
that
waste.
Extractive industry, you know, a lot is happening there.
Yeah,
and nothing seems to be.
And it's all because of no leadership. Who are you going to hold? So until we are able to define our vision, until we are able to have an ideology, until we are able to have capable hands that can make this place better for all of us. Nobody in Nigeria has a good quality life. Nobody.
Our Minister for Mines and Industry said some time ago that by next year, that is 2025, that Nigeria will be making some good money from gold, that will be raking in about 5 billion from gold.
Yeah, you have to fight the cartel that is taking gold from my state of Kogi State or from Zamfara. The gold have been stolen every night. They have stolen every night. Why is it? Why are they not realizing? Say it's 2025. That's my problem. Why are they now realizing that you can make money from gold? World economy is predicated on gold standard.
Yes.
The currencies of this world are predicated on gold standard. So if we were to produce gold, the debt force, our naira will go up. The value will go up.
And the value of Nigeria's gold is very high.
I don't understand this thing. So get people who understand economics, who understand how this thing work. He's saying that now as a political statement, but 2025 will come, we'll still be where we are.
Just a few months from
now. When I say 2025, they think it's 3 months from now.
Yes, it's just 3.
You know, when they maybe we were in school, when they say Nigerian something 2010.
Yes.
You know, it was looked so far.
Yes,
the development economic plan, whatever they call it, they have been doing it every period.
And when it didn't work again, when we got close to 2010,
they
had to move to 2020.
It's lack of leadership, lack of understanding what they want to do.
And this is 2024 now, so 4 years beyond, nothing still happened.
If you ask the minister,
exactly.
Yeah. If you ask him, what is your statement, what is the mission statement of your ministry? I want to answer that question. I want to know. Then what are you doing? So that statement he made is a very open-ended question. It's something that we're going to. How? Is the how we're not asking. Is the how and when. How, when, what, the things that will make it work. Not just talk. Talk is cheap.
Okay, looking again at certain things that have been happening. So I want to ask you, there are excesses in this country, too many to mention. Beginning with like what we just saw today too in the newspapers, talking about the huge amount of money that will be spent on pilgrimage, to what you see in the fact that there are government property being looted, and getting to see arson, as far as arson in Nigeria, in wherever there is any little misunderstanding among politicians, they will make effort to set ablaze one secretariat or the other, and with all the things involved. Is there a way out? Because what we're asking is how we'll be able to curb all these wastages.
The way out again goes, everything surrounds leadership. If leadership understands, for example, that Nigeria is a secular state, we are not aligned to any religion. If the leadership realize that, look, for you to make progress, 2 things you are going to fight against is religion and politics. Unfortunately, Nigeria economy is built around these 2 institutions, religion and politics. And the kind of politics we're talking about here is politics that is like an investment. You sell your buildings, go and loot. Not visionary, not service. Religion that is practiced in Nigeria is different from what is practiced elsewhere. In Saudi Arabia, for example, they have opened up to investment. Yes. They have opened up, it's a modern economy going. UAE, modern. But it comes to Nigeria, look at the kind of religion they practice here, the kind of Christianity that practice here, the kind of Islam that practice here. It's not the same they practice in Jerusalem. So
it's not.
If religion is a private affair, all governments scrap this pilgrimage, something for Christian board. You have to get for traditional worship as well. Then so scrap this Muslim pilgrim board, Christian pilgrim board. It's a personal affair. I understand that even for my friends who are Muslims, it's not compulsory. It's whoever has the capacity to go. That is the law. You don't have to go there. If you have the capacity to go, you can. If someone can afford you, but that should not be in the budget of any state. That's a waste.
I remember, sir, that some years back, former governor Kwankwaso of Kano State
Yeah.
scrapped it. You know, it's not really scrapping the board, but then the sponsorship of this thing.
And you know, it starts asking on a foreign exchange.
Yes,
they give them foreign exchange rebate or should be given for importation of critical items that help manufacturing. It's for business,
industry.
Purely business, not for leisure, not for any religious something, because religion does not help any nation grow. It doesn't. It's a private affair between you and your God. They should not bring it to public. I do not want to see religion in our constitution, because we don't have one yet. By the way, we don't have one. We don't have constitution yet. The one that is there was not written by us, we the people. Somebody put it there for us. Anywhere there's religion in that place, out. No religion should disturb anybody. No person should disturb anybody with their religion, or the way they practice it or not. Do it privately. Let's see the effort. Let's see your light to shine. Let's see your fruit in the public. Not make this. Nigeria is the most religious country, and yet the most corrupt and wicked country in the world. But very religious.
Yes.
So religion is a waste. It's a stand against us and progress. We should do away with it. Then the institutions that have been set up are being diminished, because the individuals heading those institutions are stronger and bigger than the institutions. The reverse should be the case. So until we make our institutions to be stronger and bigger than the people that manage it, we are going nowhere.
I also want to think of something else. There is this normal thing. It's normal. You see the way I just said normal.
Yeah.
Because it's become normal in Nigeria.
Oh no.
But
Which
it's not that
unfortunate.
it is normal. It's not supposed to be so.
Yeah.
There is the duplicity of assignments or duties in Nigeria in so many ways. There is this one that was just recently created, Ministry of Livestock and all that. And of course it came out of Ministry of Agriculture.
Yeah.
You know, and we have Ministry of Water Resources, and now we have also got Ministry of the Blue Economy.
Yeah.
All these things were just duplicating matters.
Blue economy is water.
Yes.
Blue is water.
You know?
Water economy.
So why can't we just, make them fewer and let them be more effective?
They don't know what they are doing.
Not to waste the resources available.
There's no vision. Period. They are creating jobs for the boys. Blue economy simply means economic activities that come from the water, and they include fishery, they include transportation, they include leisure, they include mining, they include all kinds of 5 economies. I brought it to Kogi State, that in Kogi State, with the water we have, the blue economy is enough to help us.
You see?
But so they talk of this blue economy.
There is even what do you call it now? Tourism in blue economy.
Exactly. You had that tourism. That's leisure. That's it.
Yes,
leisure. Yeah. So leisure and transportation, fishery, oil, all kinds of things in that economy alone. So they created bogus ministries. Okay, but who is managing them? Look, I don't mind. Just be the boss, but bring in people
who can do
the job. That's my job, and you will take the glory. They will not even know the people that are bringing it, but the compliments go to you. So please, as they set up this, like I think they separated Minister of Steel from Minister of Mine or something. In fact, I went to the one there, and they the same. They just move. They put a label somewhere. It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So they should. I think the president want to collapse some of this in the recent things. There's something going to do or if not, he should be thinking seriously of reducing the numbers of ministries, make them together, make them effective. Then the president should give definite marks, key performance indicators. I want you in the remaining 2-3 years to attend every year, yearly task.
Yes.
If you go to Kigali, Rwanda, on the top of every ministry, you see targets. If you don't meet it, you will resign first. Nobody even push out. You resign yourself.
Exactly.
That honor should come. Here, people are not performing. They want to remain in the seat. If you don't know how to cook, move away from the kitchen. That's what I'm saying.
No, this is the country, the only country I must say, though they say Africa, but I think it's only
that's in Nigeria
that you see most of it all. That people know they don't know what they're supposed to do, and they are sitting tight there, not even.
That's why they're arrogant.
You know,
that's why they're hostile. That's why they want to answer questions. They don't want to answer questions.
They don't want to answer
because if you ask them, they think you're challenging the authority,
Exactly.
and it's not.
And they
has kept all of us where we are. And until we come out of that, begin to bring people. What developed China is their diasporans. What developed India, diasporans. What developed all they bring people their own who have learnt things, who have seen things to come. The few that have come here, they quench them, they put them under.
Yes.
And we can't go anywhere until people come.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, until people come with expertise.
Yes, you see, this is your talk about diaspora, and it also reminds me of the fact that we used to see Japanese products made for America, or made in America, that is by Japanese companies. At a stage, they left and went back to their home and started going to their home. In later years, we also saw Chinese companies producing things in America, and because of the fact that what it will cost you the cost of production in your base will be higher, they will decide, the manufacturers will decide to, okay, let's take these things to China, let them manufacture for us. It will be done, manufactured in China for this company, America.
It is one of those things I was running on. We call it outsourcing.
Okay, yes, outsourcing of.
I say that, and that outsourcing will depend upon the enabling environment.
Yes.
I was telling them in Kogi that if I became the governor there, Kogi will be a manufacturing hub for most things, because we are putting, and thank God, in fact, I was excited when the electricity was taken out of national grid.
Yeah.
So we could generate our own electricity. Once the enough electricity is there, and the roads and the rails, people are tumbling in. Because like you said, cost of production will be cheaper. All these boys roaming around, idle people. Like I said, if I became governor of Kogi State, retired people will come back because there will be so much work to do.
For them to do. And
you have the capacity to generate that work.
Like the Ajokuta steel.
I will scrape that thing. I said I will scrape it because it's old fashions. I hear that bringing the Russians who built it from 100 years ago. Who built that? Look, scrap that modern modular steel factories that can produce better, sharper things than this old. This one,
there is a whole lot of
that's the waste.
You need to pump into it, and you come up with almost nothing.
That is a waste.
Perfect waste of.
There's a whole minister involved in charge now. 1 year, 2 years. What's happening? Nothing. Not a pin has been produced. That's the typical example of economic waste.
Yeah.
That all that money that was pumping, and by the way, all the staff, I think they're about 520-something thousand, are being paid every month.
Apart from the ones that were sacked earlier.
Yeah, but they still have to sack
somebody from the place that was sacked.
Okay, but how can you be paying someone for doing nothing?
You see?
You are wasting their ability, their knowledge, their skills, and once you don't use your skills, you lose them.
Because of time, I just want to get into another one immediately.
Okay,
Our refineries.
Yes.
You know, we have our refineries. We have Kaduna Refinery.
Yeah,
we have
three of them.
Warri Refinery.
Yeah.
We have Port Harcourt Refinery.
Yeah.
Now, you know that they are still paying workers in these refineries. Yet nothing is happening in these refineries. No. Is this not economic?
No, that's a waste. Thank you. You are bringing these examples. Now, that is the most painful and wicked thing we do in this country. Nigeria is the only country I know that export what they don't have and import what they have. When we were struggling for electricity, we were giving electricity to Niger Republic.
Yes.
We didn't have. Now, we are importing crude now. Crude. Then, of course, we have importing petroleum, refined petroleum products forever.
Incidentally, when we would export crude, the only thing that we would get back is fuel.
Yes.
What about the
byproducts? So that's a waste. Okay, and particularly now, let's go to the refineries. When Buhari was campaigning, and I was all for him before he was appointed, he said, every year or so, you're going to revive one of these factories, one of these. You see, because there's no vision, because there's no promise.
Yes.
Nobody can hold anybody to anything. So they just make this statement, they don't mean it.
And if you ask them, they tell you it's a political statement.
But it doesn't make sense, because now, the worst part of it is, if the money that be voting for turnaround maintenance for each of these moribund refineries, the money for 1 year could build a new one.
See?
So they vote this money for these factories. The money is shared. Nobody is questioning them. So what state are they now? Can they still be revived? Look at the Port Harcourt one. They've been announcing every time they say
it has been postponed 7 times.
What government does that? If you do that, you resign in civilized, sane places. You resign. You are unable to keep to your promise. But we just make statements and move on. This country, we have to start and stand our ground. Say, look, you are our servants. We are paying you. We hired you to do something for us. If you are unable to do it, you are out.
And we just heard recently that they want to outsource the refineries to other companies, that are definitely maybe foreign companies. Incidentally, I know that it won't work, because I remember what President Obasanjo, ex-President Obasanjo, said, that when he came in, he called ExxonMobil to come and take over.
They will not touch it.
The company, and they said no.
Yeah. Corruption
is
too much.
They will not get close, not even 1 mile close to it, because the level of corruption inside that place is too much that they can't come there.
But look at the frustration that Dangote started facing. I think I hope it's over now.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yes.
That an indigenous person has for a fact something, and they were fighting him. You see, that's the level of greed and corruption in this country. That it was alleged, I didn't say it, I didn't go, they said that some of these guys in charge of the petroleum industry area have factories outside of Nigeria.
Outside the country. Yes.
And refineries outside the country, and they are bringing in their products. What kind of country does this?
I wonder.
I mean, where in the world do people keep themselves like this?
It's a shame.
There's no, every country anywhere attract investment inwards, never outward.
You also remember that it has been mentioned that the IOCs are owing NNPC, owing the government of Nigeria billions of naira.
They can't collect it?
I wonder, what were you doing and you allowed them in the first place? If not for the fact that is this cartel they're talking about, people who are in there that are taking that money to do whatever they want to do, and whenever it pleases them, they will return it.
It's unfortunate that we are being ruled and managed by people who have no business coming near government at all.
It's really
and it's not peculiar to Nigeria, if it's Africa, but I'm particularly about Nigeria. These people want to give them a cup of tea, even if a Photoshop that they're snapping with a Caucasian, a Chinese, is enough reward for them.
Yes.
And they can take anything from them. That was happening. They give you a gold watch, they give you something. In fact, I was having a breakfast in Ghana recently, and there were 2 guys in front of me, 2 Britons. They were discussing, and I was hearing it. And the guy said, if you pay school fees, take one of their children to UK, to anywhere, pay their school fees, buy a small house for them, they will give you the key to the economy of the country.
Oh.
I was sitting down, I couldn't challenge them. I heard them, but I couldn't challenge them because that's a fact.
That's the fact.
You go to Ghana, the way they are polluting the water, young people are dying, and it's a government. You come to Nigeria, you see Chinese. What Chinese people are doing here in their country is death penalty.
Of course, yes.
But what are they able to do? Because they connive with government officials. Yes. They connive with the security. They connive with everybody. And they are stealing your father's property. People have no shame. They didn't grow up like you and I grew up in where you protect your father's property.
Yes.
Nigerian property in the Commonwealth is for all of us. And if you are in a position to protect it, but you are conniving with a stranger, a foreigner, shame on you.
Yes, shame on you.
That's the waste. The waste is, corruption is too much. Because corruption is a killer. It doesn't help any country.
Yes.
Especially the kind of corruption that passes in Nigeria is the one that leads to capital flight. It doesn't bring in anything. Other countries, if you steal from anywhere and bring in, no problem. It's when you want to take out.
Yes,
that's why all our stolen money are kept in other countries.
Yes, they are using this.
Of course, to the economy.
Their own economy.
So
while ours keeps going down.
Leadership has to wake up. And our next government, there must be a clear ideological clarity and bent, and something we can hold government to. And if it's unable, we will stop it, and we will not allow the kind of sham election that takes place. Unless the people wake up, they will be doing what we are doing, and the waste will continue.
Yes, even in that economic, in that election thing, the electioneering itself,
it's too expensive.
It's also
too expensive. Yes, a
waste of funds.
Yeah, it's a waste.
Know? So all such things need to be checked, so that even INEC itself would also not continue to waste resources. And
we don't need the number of.
At the end of the day, you'll be 1 grammar glitch or another will be created.
The House of Assembly, the Senate is overwealthy. We don't need that number of people to be in that place.
Exactly.
And if you must be there, have your own source of income. By the time we trim,
let it be a part-time thing.
Exactly. By the time we trim that thing, the money will come in. Our naira will go up as long as we are unable to reduce the quantity of foreign exchange in demand. These people that are creating naira fall are these people that take our resources outside. Dollar has become a commodity in Nigeria. So when they give them this bulk of naira, they go change it into dollar. And so there's high demand for dollar, and the value of naira comes down. So, but when that is drained up, naira will firm up. So until we then stop these foreign trips and all this foreign stuff should be stopped.
Thank you so much, Dr. Omale. Yeah, this is how we'll be rounding it up.
Okay.
But I just want to say a word. I know I want you to say a bit about it, and we'll go with that. Is it not a shame that up to today we don't have a made in Nigeria handset?
Oh wow! And we are one of the highest users
of that product.
We're a consumer nation.
Why can't we bring them, let them come and be doing it here and let it be made in Nigeria?
Look, and that I'm going to go to that. That is the problem. These loans you are getting from outside, you shouldn't be getting loans.
We shouldn't be getting.
You should be getting investments.
Let them come here and be doing it.
So look, come and build a rail, manage it, charge fares, get investment.
Hand over to us after 15 years.
All handsets that are being used in Nigeria, come and do it here.
Yes.
Made in Nigeria. And stop all importations. That's where the foreign exchange is coming from. And until a nation that is a net importer, that means your import is bigger than your export.
Yes.
Your currency will ever go down. Yes. And no matter what the federal government, the central bank is doing to curb inflation, it cannot work. Because inflation is a product of the fiscal and the monetary policies. And until they are managed together, they cannot work. So a lot of discipline has to come in.
Well, that is how we'll be rounding it up today on the program. I want to thank you so much, Dr. Sam Omale, for being here on the program today. You know how time flies when something good is happening, that it's already time for us to take our leave of the studio, and we have no option but to do that. I want to thank you so severely for being able to come and do this for us.
Thank you.
You are a financial economist.
My pleasure.
You are an academic, and we pray that we'll find time to have you again whenever you are in Nigeria.
Anytime.
So we'll still be doing our Skype thing.
Yeah, anytime.
Having you live is the most important for us.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Please let that political ambition not die. We need people like you to help put the nation.
Well, I can advise, but there's no election going on in Nigeria, period.
Oh, yes, that's another one.
There's
We'll
no
talk
election.
about these things some other time as we go on in the program.
Yeah.
That was Dr. Sam Omale, financial economist that I've had for today. And he is the president of Global Investment Network, London, with branches all over the world. Thank you so much, Sam.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Special thanks to Divine Okechukwu for being there for me. Special thanks to Ugoje Ihanye. And of course, not forgetting to mention Victor Chize. And I think there's also the Divine Dabrilara there. And let me also not forget to mention Emmanuel Solomon, that ensure that we are being seen the way we are being seen today. Thanks to everyone else. And I also remember that Bright Chukwuebuhe is around. Thank you. Until we meet again on this platform, we'll say, may the very best happen to all of us. Okechukwu, Onubogu here. God bless you.